The envy trap. Munger's brutal truth on comparison. You wake up, you open your phone. The first thing you see is someone else's highlight reel. Their perfect vacation, their recent promotion, their dazzling new acquisition. A flicker of discomfort, a whisper of inadequacy. It's subtle, insidious, and utterly pervasive. This isn't just a fleeting feeling. It's the tip of a colossal, invisible iceberg that silently sinks careers, erodes wealth, and utterly destroys peace of mind. This is the envy trap. Charlie Munger, the pragmatic titan behind Berkshire Hathaway, understood human nature with a chilling clarity unmatched by most. He didn't just dismiss envy. He identified it as one of the most destructive forces in the human psyche, a deadly sin that wreaks more havoc than almost any other. Munger didn't mince words. It's the only one of the 10 commandments that I don't break, he once quipped, highlighting its lethal power. He knew that the constant comparison, the desperate desire for what others possess, is a direct, self-inflicted wound that cripples rational thought and guarantees a life of perpetual dissatisfaction. Most people don't even realize they're caught in this trap. They believe their striving is healthy ambition. They mistake envy's corrosive bite for motivational fire. But Munger knew better. He knew that envy, when unchecked, makes you blind to your own blessings, deaf to sound advice, and utterly incapable of truly strategic, long-term thinking. It forces you to play a game you can never win, always chasing a phantom of someone else's perceived success. Today, on the Munger Almanac, we rip open this psychological snare. We will expose the envy trap, its hidden mechanisms, its devastating consequences on your career and wealth, and most crucially, Munger's brutal, yet liberating truths to escape its suffocating grip. If you're tired of the relentless pressure of comparison, if you're ready to reclaim your focus and build genuine, lasting prosperity on your own terms, then prepare yourself. Because Charlie Munger's unvarnished truth is about to change how you perceive your own ambition forever. So, did Munger just flip your thinking upside down? If his brutal truths resonated, then you know you're in the right place. Don't just watch this wisdom, own it. Hit that like button, subscribe to the Munger Almanac, and ring the notification bell so you never miss another game-changing insight. Let's keep dissecting reality together. See you in the next one. The illusion of more. Why comparison is a race to misery. You're constantly bombarded with images of curated perfection, the booming stock market portfolio of a peer, the viral success story of a startup founder, the seemingly effortless promotion of a colleague. Your brain, wired for social comparison, immediately jumps into action. Why not me? It whispers. What am I missing? This isn't ambition. This is the insidious onset of envy. And Munger understood its power to derail even the most rational minds. Consider this. Evolutionarily, comparison served a purpose. It helped us gauge our standing in the tribe. But in the hyper-connected, hyper-transparent world of today, this ancient wiring is brutally exploited. Social media platforms are engineered to highlight exceptionalism, not normalcy. News cycles amplify the extremes of wealth and fame, rarely the quiet, consistent progress that actually builds lasting success. You're seeing the tip of the iceberg, never the 90% below the surface, the struggles, the sacrifices, the immense luck, or simply the hidden costs. Munger would scoff at this digital theater. He knew that true wealth isn't about outdoing your neighbor. It's about having enough, consistently, and building what you value. When you fall into the comparison trap, your focus shifts from improving your own game to merely beating someone else's. Your internal scorecard, the true measure of your own integrity and progress, is replaced by an external one, dictated by fleeting trends and the distorted realities of others. This external scorecard is a race with no finish line. There will always be someone with more, someone younger, someone luckier. Each new perceived victory for them becomes a new defeat for you. This relentless cycle breeds dissatisfaction, resentment, and a profound inability to appreciate your own progress. Munger famously said, "The world is not a great bowl of cherries." He implicitly understood that life presents challenges, and compounding misery through endless comparison is a self-imposed torture. Munger's unflinching diagnosis: envy as a destroyer of wealth and reason. Munger didn't just dislike envy. He saw it as a fundamental flaw in human cognition that leads directly to irrationality and, consequently, to the destruction of wealth and opportunity. He often categorized human misjudgment into various psychological tendencies, and envy is a powerful amplifier for many of them. Think about it. It fuels social proof gone wrong. When you see others making seemingly easy money in a speculative bubble, like ENFs or meme stocks, envy pushes you to join, ignoring all rational analysis. Simply because everyone else is doing it. Munger called this following the herd over a cliff. It activates liking-loving tendency towards the wrong things. You start to like or admire behaviors that are superficial or unsustainable, just because they lead to perceived status or wealth in others, blinding you to the underlying risks or ethical compromises. It undermines consistency and commitment tendency. Instead of sticking to a sound long-term plan, envy can make you abandon a solid strategy in your career or investments because you see someone else achieve quick, flashy results elsewhere, pushing you to chase fleeting trends. Munger's philosophy is built on rational thought, long-term compounding, and avoiding obvious errors. Envy, by its very nature, poisons all three. It encourages short-term thinking, impulsive decisions, and a desperate need for instant gratification, all antithetical to building lasting wealth. Charlie Munger on envy.
For the next year. Charlie has pointed out, of the 7 deadly sins, that envy is kind of the silliest because you don't feel better. If you get envious of somebody, you feel worse the whole time. Now, gluttony, I've had some of my best times while being gluttonous. There's a real upside to gluttony. I don't. We won't get into lust, but I've heard that there are upsides to that occasionally. But envy, all you do is sit around and make yourself sick and get.
Munger viewed envy as an almost primitive, self-destructive impulse that had no place in the life of a rational wealth builder. He understood its power to cloud judgment and drive otherwise intelligent people to ruin. This leads us to the devastating consequences that often go unnoticed. The devastating consequences, how envy destroys your career and wealth. The envy trap isn't just a bad feeling. It actively sabotages your life in concrete, measurable ways. 1. Career derailment and perpetual dissatisfaction. Envy makes you a bad strategist. Instead of focusing on building unique skills or cultivating deep relationships, your career moat, you obsess over your colleague's promotion or salary. This leads to impulsive job changes, chasing trendy fields you're ill-suited for, or accepting roles based on perceived status rather than genuine growth potential. You constantly feel undervalued, regardless of actual achievement, leading to burnout and chronic job dissatisfaction. Munger's inner scorecard concept becomes impossible when your gaze is always fixed on others' external wins. 2. Financial ruin and short-term thinking. This is where envy truly becomes lethal. Seeing others accumulate wealth, or at least appear to, pushes you into speculative investments you don't understand, chasing hot tips, or taking on excessive debt for status symbols, luxury cars, bigger houses you can't truly afford. You violate every principle of long-term compounding, value investing, and rational decision-making. You prioritize the appearance of wealth over the reality of it, leading to financial instability and often catastrophic losses. Munger believed avoiding debt and living within your means were cornerstones of wealth, both easily shattered by envy. 3. Erosion of mental and physical health. The constant state of comparison is a psychological battlefield. It breeds resentment, anxiety, stress, and a profound sense of inadequacy. This chronic negative emotion can manifest physically as sleep disorders, high blood pressure, and even weakened immunity. Your mental energy, which should be spent on productive endeavors, is instead consumed by bitter rumination and a desperate need to catch up. As Munger famously quipped about getting rid of something in life, envy. That's a very stupid emotion. It makes you miserable without yielding any benefit. 4. Damaged relationships and isolation. Envy corrodes your ability to genuinely celebrate the success of others. It can turn friends into rivals, sour family dynamics, and make you resent mentors or superiors. This pushes people away, leading to isolation, as others sense your underlying bitterness or insecurity. Building a network, a key part of your career moat, becomes impossible when you're constantly weighing yourself against everyone else. Munger's antidote. The path to liberation and true wealth. Charlie Munger's wisdom isn't just about identifying problems. It's about providing the brutal yet effective antidotes. To escape the envy trap, you must fundamentally change your internal operating system. 1. Embrace the inner scorecard, your only true measure of success. Munger, echoing Warren Buffett, championed the concept of the inner scorecard, This means evaluating your actions and progress based on your own internal standards of integrity, effort, and what you know is right, regardless of external validation or others' perceived achievements. If you are living up to your own best potential, that is the only metric that truly matters. Actionable step: define your own values and goals. Regularly review your actions against these standards, not against what your peers are doing. Celebrate your own quiet progress. 2. Master the art of disinterest in others' gains, unless for learning. Munger developed a profound disinterest in how rich other people were. He understood that another person's success, unless it directly harmed him, was irrelevant to his own journey. He focused on his own circle of competence and his own game. The only exception, observing others' successes and failures for valuable lessons, but without the emotional baggage of envy. Actionable step: consciously limit exposure to social media feeds that trigger comparison. When you see someone's success, immediately shift your mindset. What can I learn from this? Is it relevant to my goals? If not, move on. 3. Cultivate gratitude, the ultimate anti-envy weapon. Gratitude is the direct antithesis of envy. It forces you to acknowledge and appreciate what you already have: your health, your relationships, your skills, your opportunities, rather than lamenting what you lack. Munger, despite his immense wealth, maintained a pragmatic appreciation for his good fortune. Actionable step: start a daily gratitude practice. List 3-5 things you are genuinely thankful for each morning or evening. This rewires your brain to focus on abundance, not scarcity. 4. Focus on contribution, not accumulation, for status. Munger believed in contributing to society and building things of value. When your primary focus shifts from accumulating for status, to impress others, to creating value, to solve problems, to serve clients, to build lasting businesses, the pressure of envy dissipates. Your purpose becomes intrinsic, not extrinsic. Actionable step: identify ways your work genuinely helps others or creates real value. Reframe your career goals around impact and contribution, not just salary or title. 5. Embrace reality and radical acceptance. Munger was a master of facing reality, no matter how uncomfortable. Envy thrives on delusions: the delusion that someone else's life is perfect or that their success was effortless. Accepting the inherent unfairness of life, the role of luck, and the hidden struggles of others disarms envy. Actionable step: when envy strikes, pause. Ask, what's the full, unvarnished reality here? What am I not seeing? Practice accepting situations you cannot change and focusing only on what you can control. Build your unbreakable mind. Join the almanac. The envy trap is one of humanity's oldest and most destructive mental models, weaponized by the modern world. But armed with Munger's brutal truths, you now have the blueprint to dismantle it. By focusing on your inner scorecard, cultivating genuine disinterest in others' superficial gains, embracing profound gratitude, and prioritizing contribution over status, you don't just avoid misery, you unlock unparalleled clarity, forge unbreakable resilience, and set yourself on the true path to lasting wealth and deep satisfaction. Don't let engineered discontent dictate your destiny. Choose Munger's path.